Delighted to. Did you get a chance to watch my short little video?
I did not. Did
Okay.
you send that in the email?
That's been part of the Calendly process, but no worries.
Oh,
That's designed to save a bit of
I'm
time.
making a horrible first
No,
impression,
no,
aren't
no,
I?
no, no, no. You're not at all. This happens all the time, but I try to maximize our time together. This is like
Mm-hmm.
only a 15-minute time slot, but I do don't have another one till 12. So we do have
Okay.
15 minutes, which is great. So how about you tell me your story, your journey into real estate and what I can do to help you?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've always been interested in real estate. Probably as far back as I was, maybe 18 years old or something. And I was fortunate. My uncle doesn't have kids, so he's kind of looked at me and my brothers as kids and stuff. And he did something that I didn't realize the value at the time, but I look back now was awesome. He put me on all of his credit cards as an authorized user, right?
Oh,
And he was
nice.
meticulous about circling through. He had 20, 30 different cards. He would use them, pay it off, go to the next one, cycle through them all. So like at 12, 13 years old, I had like a 700 plus FICO score and stuff. I was getting offers from
Wow.
like American Express and stuff. So by the time I turned 18, I had, real good credit and like stuff looked good. And always liked real estate. When I was young, I partnered up with a residential mortgage broker. We were doing residential mortgages, quickly moved into commercial mortgages, right?
Mm,
Obviously realized that, 2 points on a $300,000 home or pretty similar paperwork for 2 points on a $3 million apartment, that was a
mm,
better deal. So
right.
uh, did that, got into some different esoteric financing in terms of bank instruments and film financing and different stuff.
Mm,
Ended up getting a foreign investment, became a direct lender, lending on business loans and real estate loans. Um, Unfortunately, timing wasn't great. It was 08, 09. And
mm.
so things ended up not working out. Um, I then moved into some marketing stuff and did marketing for a long time. Eventually left. My wife and I, who I met at the marketing job that I ended up at, left and started our own marketing firm, which has been great. Again, I've got the chance to kind of peek behind the current a little bit and see how all these different businesses and different industries across the country work and how they monetize and how they do things, which is very rewarding and fulfilling for me because I very much like business and I'm very curious about stuff. But we also then started a real estate company probably back in 2018, 2019, something like that. But it's always been more, maybe 90% the marketing company and 10% the real estate company, right? And last year we consciously kind of made this decision to make the switch and kind of flip it, try to automate or even wind down some of the marketing stuff and ramp up the real estate stuff. And
Okay.
so last summer, I joined Sub 2.
Mm.
I was very fortunate. I got a deal in my first month, which was exciting.
Very
Um,
nice. Yeah.
Not about a month after that, I one of my marketing clients, an opportunity presented itself, and we ended up buying his business creatively. So the kind of mental concepts and thoughts from creative financing, I then immediately applied to business, which is where I'm at here now. This is the electric company, and we've continued to build up the real estate. We had a different property we bought and rented out and sold. We now have 3 properties that we've done with other people in the community, 2 multi-units, and then a single family home that we're doing co-living on.
Okay.
Um, just bought another property down in St. Louis that we're looking to do as a flip. Um, but it's funny. I feel like when people get into real estate, they typically go, wholesale, right? It's the lowest barrier of entry, easiest, right? And then they okay, get some experience, some knowledge, and maybe some cash, and they go into fix and flip, right?
Yeah.
And then that works for a little bit, and then they go, oh, and I'm gonna go buy and hold, right? And get that
Yeah.
long term. For me, I'm kind of a numbers guy. So like I created a spreadsheet to help analyze stuff. And for me, I was like, no, buy and hold where it's at. Like there's so much like you don't make the big chunks, but in terms of overall value, I'm like appreciation, depreciation, mortgage pay down, monthly cash flow, like all the different stuff. So
Yeah.
we jumped all the way to buy and holds. And so now I'm actually like working backwards where I've partnered with some other wholesalers and said, hey, look, I'll work with you and we'll do stuff together. But like I don't want to have to develop a whole ground up wholesale operation and all the infrastructure. I'd rather just partner with people to do that.
Right,
We
right, right.
we can flips partnering with people to do that. So um
Yeah.
yeah, I so we're in sub 2, we're an owners club, and really I'm just looking to again connect with more people, build more relationships, and ultimately be able to have more partners to be able to do more deals. Because all the deals we've done with partners. So
Very
Having
good.
more people that either want to be PMLs or PMPs, um, I think is a big value point for us because then it allows us to expand into more deals.
Mm, absolutely. Yeah, singing from my song sheet. Yes.
Huh?
Yes, especially at the beginning there where you said about, why not do the bigger deals? Because
Hmm.
that's where the money's at. It all
Well,
depends on who you are, of course. We all have different financial goals and
mhm,
where we're headed. So, but for me, it was always about wealth creation, and you're not going to do it with single family homes. I cut my teeth on cotton sheets, no money down over 22 years ago, and got immediately into the small commercial multifamilies, so 5 units
mhm,
and up. And
yeah.
but I made all sorts of mistakes, as you can imagine. Scalability was the biggest thing, not having sufficient capital, didn't have the
Hmm.
network in place, and all the things that Pace is bringing, right? The community we
Right.
mentioned, the network, right, and the financial backing. So I lost it all in 2009. I could turn around and blame the economy. I'm not going to do that. I made fundamental mistakes, and so that's where I ended up. So I was licking my wounds for about 8 years, and then
Hmm.
real estate's in my blood, and pretty much like what you said. Although my family weren't in real estate at all, but I don't know what it was as a kid. I played Monopoly all the time, even with three ghosts.
Just it called to you, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a calling. Yeah, and I've always said, if you look at my blood cells, they're house shaped. Kind of in
I
my
love
blood. I
that.
can't get
I might
away from
steal
it.
that. That's
Yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah. So I ended up getting back into it, but I was playing it safe. In 2017, I renewed my real estate license and thought I'd just do retail.
Hmm.
I could be successful as a rep, but my heart wasn't in that. I took a whole bunch load of courses, came across Pace probably 4 or 5 years ago, really, right early on, actually.
Yeah, that's right at the
Because,
beginning of it. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, because these videos start popping up, and I've been on every call. In fact, I was with Brant Daniels with wholesaling thing before
Hmm.
even Pace, and then um, and I don't know how I came across Pace. I think he just popped up. Anyway, I followed him for a couple of years without joining anything, and then when Gator came up, um, I joined that, and then I got into the Elite Gator because I was there at the beginning as an OG Gator. I just had to put in a testimonials.
An OGG.
Yeah, that's right. So that was good. And then I joined the first Elephant Challenge with Dawn Walker and Mike way back whenever that was, and
Hmm.
was on their team for 6 months. And then I did Head of Profits with Angie Milanazzo for 6 months. And that was fun.
Angie's great. Yep.
Yeah, and then I did Shard Najumi on his REI conveyor belt for about 8 months and was like on the
Man,
acquisition.
you're partnering with everyone, huh? That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah, I've been around the team, so got to know a lot of people. The idea was to really get to know them, not just like one-on-ones. These are great, don't get me wrong.
Hmm.
It's part of the networking, and what we're doing now. And haven't met you yet, so it's fantastic. So I wanted a deeper, and how things work and everything else. So I've really enjoyed my time there. But about back in July. Found myself in the classroom again because I'm on this lifelong search for something driving me to find the right niche. And although I've done all the courses, spent well into the six figures on education, on numerous courses and influencers out there, written the books. I've written 3 books now on
Yeah, I
Amazon.
see the in the background
Yes,
there. That's
that's
awesome.
right. And restarted my YouTube channel as well. And done an educational thread on there. Um, I was still looking for that niche. Yeah, I could
Hmm.
do it all now. I mean, but what's the niche? And back in July, I found myself in the class for a 3-day workshop on large multifamilies. And suddenly it all made sense. It's like that final piece of the jigsaw was played. Where
Now
the
you can see the
scale,
picture.
yeah, the scalability of the large multifamilies is where it's at. And then I looked at Pace, who we're following, right? That's where his
Mhm.
wealth comes from. It's large multifamily, right? If you
Mhm.
look at his portfolio, and that's where he's at, and so
Yeah, he's moving it all into that, into the bigger stuff. Yeah.
right. And he's done the funds, he's got Vinageti in the community and
Hmm.
what have you. And so it made sense, the scalability. And also, it's the only niche, I think, in real estate. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's the only niche in real estate which will give you that lifestyle you're looking at.
Yeah. Yeah. To get there
But
with single family, you need a lot of them, right? Again, you might need 100,
hundreds
200,
of
300
them,
single family, right? But you go buy
hundreds
one
of them. Yes.
good multifamily and again, have 100 units in one building and be like, oh, cool.
Correct.
I bought once and I have 100 instead of buying
That's
100 times to get
correct.
100.
Yes. And what I learned on this course is if you're on the acquisitions time side, you can do 5% at closing fee,
Hmm.
an acquisition fee, which if you're looking at what, $20 million deal, that's $1 million at closing.
Yeah.
It's not like you have to wait for forever for your money. I mean,
No.
I can probably live off $1 million. I'm not sure about you, but I mean, I can certainly live
Well,
off that, you know?
that reminds me of a video I just saw that he did recently where he was talking about a co-living house and he was breaking down the numbers and he goes, look here, I'm going to pay myself $15,000 as an acquisition fee. He's
Hmm.
like, so I'm getting paid to buy this house. He's like, I build this in. He goes, yeah, I want the long-term cash flow, but you need today money sometimes too. So I
Right.
just build that into the deal. And I'm like, yeah, that's genius. There you go.
Yeah.
You get today money like a
Right.
wholesale,
Yeah.
but you actually don't or a flip, but you don't, push away. You keep the property. So now you got the forever money as well. You get the
Correct.
best of both worlds.
Yeah, and in large multifamily, you can turn on 7, even 8 income streams.
Hmm.
You wear these different hats, right? On the GP side, you know how they set up the large multifamily. You got GP and LP side and what have
Hmm.
you. The GP, you're helping put it all together, right? And the LP position is your passive role, right? Where you put your
Hmm.
money in. And so you can be paid at closing. You can be paid every quarter, which gives you your everyday money, which you need to pay your bills, right? And
There
then
you
at
go.
the end of the project, you have a share in the equity, which is,
To get that upside.
yeah. And so you got wealth creation at the end of the deal, which only has to be 3 or 5 years' time. So that made the sense to me because you're a lot younger. You're a younger. I don't know how old you are, but
I just turned 39 about two
well,
weeks
there we
ago.
go. I was actually going to say 40, so that's quite clever. Well, you're a great age. You've got at least 20, 30, 40 years ahead of you, so it's fantastic. But I'm 63, so if I got to create wealth at 63, right, because I've had it all and lost it all, so I've got to recreate it again. I
Hmm.
need something that makes sense, and so large multifamily seem to fit that niche. But
Absolutely.
one of the biggest lessons I had through my journey, and I'm trying to bang this drum as loud as I can because it'll save people a great deal of pain. Because I lost it all, and I didn't have sufficient capital or wasn't willing to spend money on an attorney.
Hmm.
We need an attorney in our back pocket. I'm sure you agree. Never
Oh
write
yeah.
paper or a JV agreement and things go wrong, or we need to we want to do a remote market. I mean, which attorney do we go to? We have to do the research and find out. Well, I found
Hmm.
a company just a few months back, middle of September, that this company puts attorneys on retainer all over the nation. So you don't have to worry about who. You just pick up your
You got it
phone
set.
and and you got an attorney for a low
Nice.
monthly fee. So you don't
What's
have
the
to worry
company
about
name?
you don't have to worry about it. Doesn't matter who the company name is, but I'll tell you in a minute. But the idea is you can pick up the phone, not worry about the bill. The attorney doesn't worry about the clock, and you get done what you need to get done. So if you're getting sued, you don't have to worry about it. 100 hours of trial time, for instance. Isn't that crazy? Now,
Yeah, that's an interesting model.
yeah, it works exactly like insurance. But if
Hmm.
you're in business and you're serious about your business and you're dealing with, in your case, you may be dealing with millions of dollars, you're going to need an attorney. It's
Yeah.
inevitable.
Yeah.
That's it's part of your cost of doing business anyway, right? So when I found out about that, I thought, oh, if only I'd known about that beforehand, I would still have my business today. I wouldn't have had to
Hmm.
go through all that pain and torment and losing a lifetime of wealth.
Hmm.
So the name of it used to be called prepaid legal. It's been around for 52 years.
Oh,
It's now
interesting.
called Legal Shield.
Legal Shield. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I'll put the website here for you to look at. And the most you can spend a month is $185. And that's the business pro plan. And
Wow. That
and
seems very affordable.
it's extremely affordable. So if you paid a membership for a whole year, it would be $2,220. Now, I don't know what attorney you can do for $220, $2,000 a year of covering anything you need an attorney for, anything.
Yeah. So okay, Legal Shield. So this is you then.
Yes,
That's awesome.
yes. Now, if you wanted to use it and you signed up, you will be my customer. So I would make some
Hmm.
money on that. So I'm being fully up transparent.
Nothing wrong with that.
But you could do the same as well if you wanted to monetize it or turn an extra income stream on because you're gonna need it anyway. Whether you go
Yeah.
with Legal Shield or not, you will need an attorney and you're gonna
Yeah.
spend money on them. So
I like that. I appreciate you passing that along. I'm gonna
yeah,
check that out a little bit later.
yeah, yeah. And they need experience. You think, oh, are they experienced? Yeah, they need to have 20 years experience in their niche.
Wow. That's a high bar.
Mm. So now you're on
So
the
what
same field with like Trump and Elon Musk, who have an army of attorneys because they get sued every week, right?
Mhm.
Well, the company have got this army of attorneys for you because they paid their retainer. So that's the
Yeah,
difference it makes. It's huge.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
awesome. Yeah, it's like you said, it's almost like insurance, but for an attorney,
correct.
So you're
Yes.
you're
Yeah.
protect you know that you're protected then.
Because
Yeah.
the guy who started this was involved in a road accident. He was an insurance guy and a very
Hmm.
successful one. He ended up in hospital. All right. It was the other guy's fault, head on. And he got served papers in the hospital when he was being sued. And he couldn't have turned up for court. Through his injuries, he lost
Right.
his life savings, and this is how the idea was born.
Wow, that's horrible.
Yeah. So he thought, wow, everybody needs. I'm going to level the playing field, right? If you're
Yeah,
rich, you can afford an army of attorneys, but middle class, they don't use an attorney because they're so expensive.
right.
Mm,
But now you have this as an option.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Mm.
So what's the next step for you? What are you looking for? How can I provide you value, or what do you need to go to the next level of what you're trying to do?
Well, thank you for the question. Yeah. So, as I say in my story, back in July, I saw this niche. So, the biggest component for large multifamilies to take them down is to build my network. It's all about
Hmm.
the network. Like, so Pace, if he does a special Zoom, as 1,000 people turn up and he raises whatever capital he needs because of the network, right? Because of his
Hmm.
reputation, he's built the brand and so. So
Yeah,
I'm on my early stages in my journey to build my network up. So with that in mind, I restarted my YouTube channel, so I post these on. I've got an educational thread on large multifamily, 21 videos, 5 minutes to 12 minutes long. You can look at those. And I want to draw people in, get to know people through the daily networking like we're doing, so when I find a deal, we can take it down and enjoy
yeah,
the benefits of a large multifamily. So one way you can help me certainly is to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and
yeah.
it's
Let me know the name and I'll do it.
yeah. Let me just bring it up, And
over here.
give me feedback on my videos, things like that, you know. And then when I do get a deal, I can email you the Zoom invitation for an OM. And if you wanted to be part of the deal, you could passively without interrupting, you know, what you're doing. We could do a syndication. So
And if I find multifamily deals, would it be beneficial for me to bring them to you?
yeah, once you understand, just if what I recommend before you do that is to understand what we're looking for. You can find that through the educational thread on my YouTube
Okay.
channel. Once you understand that and you bring a deal, yeah, I would like more involvement than just bringing the deal. You'd be on the acquisition side. So if we took down a $20 million apartment complex, we would share that $1 million, you know, at closing. You'd be part of the
Hmm.
acquisitions team, you know. Because there's a lot to do on the acquisition
Yeah.
side, because we take it from finding it to closing on the acquisition side. So that can be anywhere from 90 to 120 days.
Awesome.
Yeah. So you would
Yeah, absolutely.
you would gain an understanding if you haven't got already of underwriting, how all that works, you know, because we'd each do it and then compare notes and discuss
Yeah.
it, you know, and
See
make
if we're seeing it the same way. Yeah,
that's
second
right.
set of
Yeah.
eyes.
Yeah. So
Perfect.
yeah, then we're ready for a presentation, you see, which we would do. We'd invite people along to the Zoom call and present it, and as a team, as an acquisitions team, and raise the capital, and then we'd be off to the races, you see. So that's how that would
We
work. Yeah.
And so are you typically you're raising like an entry fee level, and then are you going with like institutional financing for the rest of it, or are you looking to raise the entire amount to purchase and do any kind of rehab or improvements?
It's a great question. Yeah, it varies on the deal. Certainly, if the seller, for instance, wants to still be part of the deal and just be the bank, certainly. If not, we can certainly raise a commercial loan. Those are typically 70% of the purchase price. So we'd raise the capital of 30% plus closing costs and plus
Hmm.
capex as well. So we want capex about around 5 to 10%, depending on what we're buying, you know? So
Okay,
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. It's an exciting path, you know. It's a lot more exciting
Yeah,
than single family, you know. Don't get me
yeah.
wrong. It's
There's
all
more you can do. The nice thing I feel like with commercial too is like it's not a comp model, right? It's almost like it's a business. It's the
right.
value is based on NOI, so it's like you can force
Correct.
appreciation. You can do things to directly affect
Correct.
the
That's the
value of
whole
the
reason
property.
why you do large melts. You hit it on the
Yeah.
head. Yes. We force the value. So we look
Hmm.
for value add when we buy it. That's part of the acquisition process. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and we got all those parameters. I've got those in the educational thread, what we look for, you know. Uh, so
Hmm.
so have a look at those. Book another call with me, Steve, because you're a smart young man. If I
Thank
can
you.
say young, no, you are. I can tell, and you'd love this. I could see you flying at this. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I'll watch some of the videos and then we'll schedule another time to call to talk.
great. Yeah, very good. And I didn't even find out if you're married. Are you married with children
I
or?
am. I'm married, got kids. So my wife Christina, who's also my business partner in all this,
Mm,
so she had two daughters from a previous marriage, Ayla and Amber. Amber I pretty much raised since she was 10.
mm,
Um, she just graduated college actually just last year. And then Christina and I, we had two kids together, Liam and Caitlin. They're like 9 and 10.
mm.
So we
Okay,
got both
fantastic.
ends. There was a point where I had toddlers and teenagers, so
Oh,
that was
wow.
an interesting time.
That's the big why you've got there, right? Yes, I can see why you want to play the
I
big.
want to create a better life for them,
Yes, that's right. Oh, yeah. And man, we can do some things. Yeah. So that's fantastic, Steve. Thank you for joining me. And
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. I
yeah,
look forward
yeah,
to connecting with you in the future, Graham.
yeah, absolutely, Steve. Have a wonderful day. Every success in your business. Bye bye for now.
Take care. You too.